If somebody sends you an Excel file that was created in an earlier version of Excel, like Excel 2003, XP 2000, or even 97, you may want to go ahead and convert that over into Excel 2010. While you can still open up those earlier versions in Excel 2010, you won't be able to use some of the newer features in 2010 until you actually convert it over. That's one benefit. The second benefit, as we talked about in the Save versus Save As training video, Microsoft integrated the extensible markup language, a more stable language, for their applications back in Office 2007, and they continued it on in Office 2010, which also includes Excel 2010 here. So to learn a little bit more about that, you can watch my Save versus Save As training video. In any case, let me go ahead and open up the exercises folder. And in this folder, there's only one file that was created in an earlier version of Excel. How do you know? Well, there's two ways that I can show you. One way is by looking at the extensions. As we talked about in an earlier training video, extensions are an extension of the name of the file. I've given all these files my name that I can relate to, like my Dreamforce payroll file, but then extending that file's name, the .xlsx, the extension is what tells the operating system what program to open up this file in. It's going to be Excel. Well, all of these extensions are telling the operating system to open up these files in Excel, except this one right here. You'll notice it doesn't have that extra X, it's just XLS. What that means, or what that tells me by looking at the extensions, is this was created in an earlier version of Excel because in Excel 2007 they introduced the foundational XML language, or the extra X there, for a stabler program, hence a stabler file here. If it's corrupted, we can still have access to it. So that's one way I can tell. Now, if you can't see the extensions of the names of your files here, you can watch my Windows 7 training video, because I talk about how to unhide these extensions and the benefits and the reasons why you should leave them hidden or unhide them. And of course, this is one of the benefits, is I can quickly look at it. The other way I can show you how to identify this file without looking at the extension, it was created in an earlier version of Excel, is, well, I'm going to come up here on my command bar, and this is Windows 7. You may have Windows XP or Vista. I'm going to click on the drop down arrow, and the point being is I want to go ahead and look at these icons within that window as, well, much larger than what you see here. So when I open it up, all these icons are the same except for this one. And when I hover over this file, it tells me that this file was created in Excel 97 through 2003. So there's the icon. It's different from all these others. So if you can see the icon and you can't see the extensions, then you can tell just by looking at the file that, hey, this one's not like the others. Go ahead and double click and open it up. Another way you can tell is by looking up here in the title bar. So if you don't even look at the icon or look at the extension, you open up the file, it says, hey, we're in compatibility mode because this file was created in an earlier version of Excel, and so you can't use some of the newer features in Excel 2010 until you convert it over. So right now, it's just enough that you can go ahead and be compatible with 2010 and view the data inside. So if you want to be able to convert it, so we can go ahead and use the newer features in 2010 and have a more stable file here, come up here, click on the File tab. It's really simple. Go down to the Info tab, which by default it's highlighted. Come over here and click Convert. Say it's okay if you make the conversion. And then it says, in order to complete the conversion, do you want to close and reopen the workbook now? If I go ahead and say yes, in a wink of an eye, it closes the workbook, changes its diapers or its extension, and you'll notice up here it's no longer compatible. It no longer is missing the X, but it now has the X, which stands for Extensible Markup Language, that this Excel 2010 program is based upon. It's a stabler language, stabler file. That way, if we have any issues, the chances are us recovering the file is a lot greater than if we had it in an earlier version of Excel and we left it in compatibility mode. Having said that, if I go ahead and close out, let's go back to the folder and, hey, the icon's updated, the extra X was added. We're no longer dealing with an earlier version of Excel here because it's now joined the rest of the group here. It's now been converted to Excel 2010. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, as soon as I upload a new video, you'll be notified instantly, and you can do that by coming over here and clicking on my face. You can also click here to support me, so for $2 a month, you can have access to over 2,700 training videos, all ad-free, and for a few bucks more, you can have access to my exercises, instructor notes, quizzes, certificate of completion, and a whole lot more.